Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 40 of the Talking with the Dad podcast on a special, somewhat special, going to be new. We're going to be like pretty normal going forward. Monday night edition.
Yes.
Steve has coerced me into doing 2 nights a week.
Amazing.
In the podcasting world.
You're that guy, right? You're that guy that twists history just a little bit, ever so slightly. I have a friend that describes it perfectly. It's not quite lying. You can make up something to describe. It's called thieving the truth.
Ooh, thieving the truth. No, I don't know if I've quite done that. I've definitely twisted it a little bit. I think I had poked this at one point, and I actually literally don't even remember saying it, but Steve says I said it, so I trust him. And Steve brought it up, and now here we are. So I've now assigned this to Steve's night of podcasting.
Steve's night of podcasting. Well, I mean, this is like most things with talking with a dad, formerly gaming with a dad. It's all fluid. It's fluid. It moves around. It comes back and forth. We don't, we wing it.
Formerly gaming with a dad. How much have we actually talked about that? I don't know if we've ever really been in depth with that, have we?
Yeah, we did it when we made the switch. How much more in depth do you want to drag people through that?
I don't remember, I guess.
Listen,
that's
you hired a bunch of people that should not have been hired. You told them we were going to pay them. We couldn't pay them. Now they're still emailing me expecting payment, which is weird because they all got W-2s and W-9s. I'm like, well, how did he pull this off? We're not.
Listen, man, you just send them paperwork and they think it's something else. And
you just sent out a bunch of Chinese menus like, I'm not sure this is a 401k. Oh, yes, it is. And number 86B is delicious.
You got to fill out to 16. They're like, it just says General Tao's. I'm like, why you say General Tso's so weird? And they're like, Tao's. And I'm like, no, just fill it out and come back to me. And then, I took down my little facade of a cardboard box and ran away. Yeah. And they showed up to work.
You talked about General Tsao and General Tao, my 2 favorite dictators. And it's something you should never look up on the internet is how that meat arrives. That's one of those mysteries in life.
Nope. I don't want to know. I do not want to know, dude.
That and orange chicken, because for the love of me, I cannot think of any part of the chicken that looks like that. Like what part is that?
None of it does, dude. There's no reason to even ever. It's like, why do you want to know what's in a hot dog?
Yeah.
Why? There's nothing in there that you want to know about. You don't want to know what's in a hot dog.
Well, I mean, maybe from primetime, I wouldn't mind. Primetime, they're just grinding up fresh stuff right there, right? Hey, I've been meaning to ask you, that red barn looking building over there by primetime, is that where the slaughtering happens?
Yeah, I believe so. And no, I don't think they slaughter there. I think they might store stuff there. But they that entire complex that it's in there, right? Is there any other stores in there? I can't remember. Or is it just them?
I think it's called Primetime
Plaza, I think,
Plaza,
right?
Yeah.
So I thought there was another business in there, but I can't remember. But yeah, they used to be in a really, really small shop. Man, I don't want to give too much information away, but as you're coming into there, off on the left side, there's a bunch of these little shops that look like they're almost fucking rundown shacks. They used to be in there. And then that business got so big, they built that entire complex and then moved their business into there. And I think that red building you're referring to, I believe, is their storage. They might smoke meats in there. They used to do these big fucking pig roasts that were incredible. So,
man, yeah, they're super nice team over there. I gotta tell you though, man, it limits what you can eat if you only shop from there. I didn't realize. I should say I did not realize how much variety processed food brings into your life.
A lot,
right? And when you're just getting fresh stuff, it's just you're at the mercy of the butcher. He's like, this is what I got, and this is what you're gonna get. Yeah,
man. If you go to a legit good butcher, there is less selection than like a Walmart or something, right? But you could do more with the less selection there because you don't have to cook it in a certain way to get a certain result out of it, right? So the meat is more versatile coming out of an actual butcher.
No variety. Like, I mean, if you go to a real butcher shop, there was a place that me and my buddy went to in California,
Mm-hmm.
and man, I gotta tell you honestly, man, he had some smoked brisket in there, and he was one of those type of guys, like he knew so much about that stuff that when he was talking, I had to fake like I understood what he was saying. I was like, oh yeah, the brisket. Yeah, I get you. It's like just drawing a diagram about how he smokes stuff. I'm like,
that's cool.
Man,
I know a little bit about it. Yeah, I know how to. I would like if you were to set me up with a smoker, I could make something with it for sure. I would need the correct type of wood or pellets depending on which what kind of smoker you have. But yeah, I think I could successfully work a smoker for sure. It's just a big grill that's just like longer and lower temperature.
Yeah, I mean, my buddy's got a smoker. He got his from like what's that? Not Sam's Club. It's on the West Coast. Bigger than Sam's Club. Costco. Same premise. Costco, man. Love that.
They're coast to coast. They're just not one near here.
Oh, it's not one over here. But he got a smoker from there.
Down in Jersey, probably like an hour and 15 or so away.
Yeah, he got one from there, and every time I turn around, he's got something smoking on there. I like smoked meats, man. I gotta tell you honestly, but it's like some stuff just tastes better at a restaurant.
No,
right?
Man, that's okay.
Yeah, man.
No, you're right. You're right for sure. But there's
the experience adds to it.
Right. There's an experience of like actually doing the thing that I feel like makes it better. I like grilling. I like cooking, but I feel like if I were to like smoke meats, I feel like that would be so much better because of the fact that I did it and I was the one who did the work on it.
You know what though? You cooked a pretty good victory steak that day. You got the new gig.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I cook a meat and steak. And it depends on how much effort I want to put into it, right? If I want to score it and actually do like a proper reverse sear and stuff and like put the actual time into it, hell yeah, I cook a meat and steak for sure. Yeah. I could play a good dish, like a good full like dish too. Like,
are you a deviled egg guy?
No.
Like deviled egg?
Nope.
What?
I don't really I don't like eggs that much, to be fair. Like I'll eat scrambled eggs. I'll eat eggs on like a sandwich or like in like fried rice or something. But like eggs are not my favorite thing.
Oh man, I can tell you honestly, man. I love a good deviled egg, good boiled egg.
You're a dad. That's why. Once you become a parent, that's like a thing that like happens.
Oh, you moron! I liked eggs before that. It's like I haven't been a dad my whole life. I wasn't born just like, hey, who's messing with the thermostat?
Is there a strict thermostat policy in your household?
Yeah, I don't get to touch it. That's the rule. Yes, I don't get to touch it.
I wish
a therapist would look up from their phone. Like when someone's talking to them, the way you just looked up, and be like, wait, oh, so what's going on? You're not feeling great?
So you don't get to touch the thermostat, huh? That's pretty brutal, honestly.
I don't unless I'm turning the temperature down. My kids and my poor wife run hot, and they are all laying on her all the time. So her average body temperature is like 180 degrees, close to
180, huh?
Yeah, and so I don't get. I'm usually cold all the time. I'm not made for like. I can deal with the cold outside. Can't deal with it in the house though. That's how much of a dad I am, right? I feel like I should be comfortable wherever I walk throughout the kingdom. Make sense?
That's fair. You have a fairly big house. Do you have multiple zones on your thermostat or just one?
Zach, good and god dang well, I can't answer that question to you. I have two things I understand. Temperature up, temperature down.
So, but like, no, so like your main floor and your upstairs, are they controlled by the same thermostat?
Yeah, controlled by the same thermostat.
Nah, see, you got to separate that into zones, dog. Because heat rises. Heat rises. So, like, if you put the heat on and it's cold downstairs, it can be real hot upstairs.
Maybe get some of that fancy insulation stuff down here, too, to really retain the heat. Maybe
you
some solar panels.
Yeah. Solar panels on the roof. No. You're not in a good solar panel spot, though. You're not in a good solar panel spot. No, you're like...
The backyard, the actual first acre there, where you could put panels down there and it would be good.
You want them up high and you're sunken in.
No, I'm not sunken in. You're sunken in. You're in the sunken place. Have you ever seen that movie before?
No.
You've never seen Get Out?
Nope.
I mean, look, I thought you were a pretty cool kid when I first met you, but now I realize you're just an old recluse who watches the things he likes and watches them over and over.
That's it. That's all I want to do. I don't want fucking
just got this image of you complaining about the price of Rice Krispies at Price Chopper or something. You're like, well, this is really high. Is this the price? This is really high.
No, dude. I'm the exact opposite. When I go to the grocery store, I do not look at prices whatsoever. I put things in the cart, I go pay for it, and I leave. I spent $30 on Sunday stuff the other day.
Sunday stuff?
Yeah, I like ice cream sundaes.
Oh my! Something you may not know about me. I hate ice cream. I'll tell you more about that when we get to know each other a little bit more. But
you hate ice cream?
I hate it. Like, I will eat it not to deal with the social questions that come with why don't you like ice cream? So often I just eat it, like, so people will leave me alone. But every bite, I'm like, I hate ice cream, man. And I also hate spaghetti, but I eat it because I like it. But I hate it.
Spaghetti. Man, I'm finding out more and more weird things about you and your eating habits.
And this all is because of living in California. But since we're talking about California, guess who's going back in the house?
Wow, that's mean, dude. That's mean. We're not far behind, I feel, but
no, we're doing a lot better, but it sucks, man, because I still have a lot of friends out there in California, and there are a lot of people who if we're gonna quantify it as right and wrong being the right way to avoid catching the disease, the wrong things to do to catch the disease.
Mm-hmm.
I think there were a lot of people who tried to do what was necessary. But it looks like they're rolling back to phase 1 there, man. So what does that mean? Barbershops, beauty salons,
restaurants, all closed. Inside. Yeah.
Inside seating for restaurants, as of right now, is closed. You can still do curbside pickup and stuff like that.
Yeah. That's what I meant. That's what I meant.
The gyms are closing down again.
Wow, man.
You know,
that's rough. I mean, again, 3 months of not being a fuck up, and that's literally all we needed, I feel. And well,
what did New Zealand do differently? They
locked down and everyone stayed inside and wore masks when they had to go outside. That's what they did. They did the proper precautions that we should have done months ago, and that's it.
Well, wait, they don't have to deal with a pesky thing called democracy. Wait, it's a king of New Zealand, right? Some type of aristocracy or some hierarchy, some dictatorship.
No. It's all the same shit.
Wait, hold on. No, you're blowing my mind. You're telling me they have civil liberties over there? Like, they vote and stuff too?
Yeah, they do that. Most modern countries vote. Yeah.
Wait, that doesn't make sense, Zach, because they're civil liberties.
I know they were infringed upon, right?
Yeah, they're rolling back, man. And Florida just broke another record. So the main conversation about this whole new, not even the second wave, we're still dealing with the tail end of the first wave, has been that the data now, a lot of people who are conspiratorial say it's just the data is pointing to new cases, not to new deaths. But actually, the death toll in Florida has risen.
Yeah,
and
of course it has.
It's rising steadily. So we talked about this on the last show. It'd be interesting if we could actually get some type of quasi expert on here one day to explain to us why people have a hard time accepting the data. I won't even say the reality, the data as it is. But death toll is on the rise in Florida. Disney has decided to open up two of its parks. And one of the consequences apparently for not wearing a mask is you won't get your picture taken on a ride. That's out. Taking a stern stance on this thing.
Have you ever seen the video? And every time I hear a picture on our ride, this is what I think of. There's a it's at an amusement park, and the guy's standing there looking. He just got off the ride, and he sees his picture, so he takes his phone out, and he's just gonna take a photo of it. And the guy behind the counter freaks out, hands up in the air, waving in front of the thing, trying to stand in front of it. Gets out from behind the counter and starts pushing the guy away.
No,
have you've not seen that?
Oh, this is a real commercial?
No, it's not a commercial. It's a video on the internet, dude. It's like some dude at an amusement park who took his job way too serious. It's amazing.
You know what, though? You got to stop cheapskates, man. Like, that guy's got a job, right? So what do you think? You just...
he's not commissioned, right? He's not, no skin off of his ass if fucking Disney doesn't make that extra $95 from that stupid picture they took on Splash Mountain.
Someone scared the bejesus out of that dude. Like, you better keep it tight today, Timmy. You've been giving away too.
He looks like a Timmy too. He looks exactly like a Timmy, dude. That's so funny. Yeah, I mean, not to make light of this very, very tragic situation, but Man, it's bad, dude. Florida's now number 3 in most cases. They're still not even, not close to us, but
Atlanta's getting ready to roll back to phase 1 as well. The
Yeah.
mayor and her entire family, her nuclear family there, they all have it.
Yep.
Apparently she and the kids are doing well, but the husband, who has no underlying issues, he's the one in the house that's struggling with it the most. So
sure. I've heard reports now that people still have symptoms from corona like months after recovery. They're retaining these symptoms. It's crazy, man. It's crazy in the fact that we're having to talk about this again, and the fact that we're just spiking up in cases again, dude. It's actually like super absurd.
Yeah, it's nuts, man. But those, we'll keep. I was gonna say them's the breaks, but actually that would imply that people are getting what they deserve. I'm just gonna say this: you do reap what you sow, right? So I'm hoping that this is the eye opener for some people, and
no, it's not. It's all a conspiracy theory as to the government, trying to control everybody. There's not actually a virus, Steve. I don't know if you know that or not.
No, I did know that. I got the email. Trust me.
Oh, you did? I'm glad. I signed you up for that list.
What the heck is this? What is this? Trump blaming Obama and Biden for stopping
I wish I could link you this, because I would need like another Discord or something. But yeah, they he has a. This is literally the direct quote. I'm reading this off of a news article.
Okay.
It says, this. I'll read you like the full 2 paragraphs. We have one of the lowest mortality rates anywhere, Trump falsely said Monday when asked how the U.S. will stop COVID-19 spread. Not only is America's coronavirus mortality rate far from the lowest in the world, has also been deflated due to rampant testing and rising case numbers, not to mention that many people with COVID-19 face severe and debilitating illness without dying. Biden and Obama stopped their testing, Trump then said, referring to former President Barack Obama and Vice President Joe Biden. I'm sure you don't want to report that. What does that even mean? What does that mean? Dude, it's 4 years into your presidency, and you're saying that Biden and Obama stopped their... Dude, they're not in charge anywhere. He also mistakenly said, and often has, that the 1918 flu started in 1917. So, I mean, I don't know what you want to call it, but this is also a guy who was like, many experts out there are like, 19. What does the 19 mean in COVID-19? No one knows. No one knows. No one can give you that. No one can tell you the answer to this question. And then one guy was like, yeah, it's the year that it started. He's like, no, it's not. No, it's not. It's happened many, many years ago when it was under Obama. That's my best Trump. I'm getting better.
Yeah, that was really good.
I'm getting better.
Actually, you know what? You have to respect his ability to tie everything back to Obama.
To 4 years ago, bro. Listen, I'm not the biggest Obama fan, right? He did okay some things and did poorly in others, but how the fuck are we going? How are we doing this, dude? It was 4 years ago. I guarantee if he gets elected on year 8, he's been the president for most of all of recent memory, and he's like, the fucking Obama guy is out there fucking telling people that the stocks are down. I'm like, dude. You know what?
Just imagine the country under the Biden administration. That guy's like, no, Joe, we're going this way. We're going this way, Joe. Where are you going? He's I'm going to pick up some cookies. No, there's no cookies left in the oven, sir. You're done. But here's the crazy thing, right? We got to start measuring Trump by his policies, and that's as far as I'm going to go into that.
Sure.
Like, if you are really worried about that man getting reelected, make sure that you start looking at his policies. Look at the things that you do. There are some things that some people have benefited from, but obviously that's covered in the mayor and mire of his mere speaking voice. But this Obama Biden thing is weak politics.
Yeah, and it's just being a weak person. You can't accept blame for a thing that you did, and you have to put it onto something else. It's something you deal with every day, right? This is fairly basic. Being a decent human being and stepping up and deciding that, the things that you did, you should be responsible for. Unfortunately, he has not ever been able to do that in business, in politics, in anything, in any facet of life. Right. So
Yeah.
You know, when the Epstein thing came out, he's like, no, I don't even know who the guy is. I've never met the guy. And there's pictures and videos of them together, like hours worth of content, right? Like,
yeah.
So
one with his daughter, one shot with his daughter with him.
Yeah, there you go. I don't understand.
Do you think they're gonna off Epstein's mistress
Giselle Maxwell or whatever the fuck her name is?
Yeah,
Yes.
the most evil in America.
Yes.
How do you think it's gonna happen this time? Like she's gonna choke on a
Same
potato chip
thing, dude. Same thing. She's gonna commit suicide with 2 bullets to the back of the head.
We found her. She'd clearly suffocated herself by throttling her own head into the wall.
She has clearly suffocated herself by decapitating herself.
Exactly.
That's exactly what it's going to be. You know, there's no way. She's already said that she's going to speak, and she has fucking evidence on everybody. Because apparently they were recording all of these high profile celebrities and politicians and figures, you know, and it's absurd. It's actually absurd.
You got to go out like Prince Andrew. Now, there's a man who didn't listen to his advisors right before that interview. They're like, don't do it, sir. And he's like, no, it's going to be good. It's going to be good.
Oi, mate, I'm going to go out there and, we're going to give him the best interview of their life. Oh, I went Australian with it.
It was kind of with Australian, then you went to like Russian.
No. See, I get one good accent a podcast. No, man, dude, it's super sketch. There was a tweet the other day of some high profile doctor, I think she was, and she was like, yeah, I was at this party in 2001 and everyone knew what they were doing. I didn't even want to even be in the same room with them. And then all of the replies were like, wait a second, everyone knew what they were doing? And then she fucking deleted her Twitter account. Full on deleted it. She's like, oh, I probably shouldn't have said that out loud. It's like, how do you know that these people are fucking trafficking humans? And like, you know, every super high profile celebrity and politician knew what was happening, right? It turns out that a lot of these people intermingle, and they're just no one says anything. It's the same thing with the fucking Harvey Weinstein stuff. Everyone knew what was going on there. And
is he dead?
Weinstein? No, he's actually he's in a prison not too far from here.
Oh, okay, nice.
Actually, like 15, 20 minutes from your house.
Oh. That's really scary.
No, maybe not. It's on the other side. No, maybe like 30 minutes from your house, but
no, but I mean, man, if this goes back to that weird video that Joe Rogan's always talking about with the presidents and all those people at that one sketchy camp wearing the cloaks.
Yeah, I think it's called Bohemian Grove, isn't it?
Yeah, don't say it out loud, man. I told you before. I'm very worried about that type of stuff. I don't want that type of smoke on the channel.
Yeah, that's definitely right there.
I don't even Google that place.
I'm on its Wikipedia page right now.
Don't go there, dude, and stay off their subreddit. But yeah, this all
is there a subreddit?
Like this seems like all this type of stuff, right? Like,
no, it is for sure, dude. They're all the same people, man.
It seems like the type of party where you show up and you're having a good time at first, and then someone says, hey, we're going to get to the human sacrifices, but they say it normally like, hey, we're going to order pizza. But like, yeah, we're just going to go chop this guy up and sacrifice him to Baal. You'll get everything you want in this life. Just help me kill this kid really quick. And I sincerely believe that is that insidious. I seriously do, man.
I do too, for sure.
It would also account for the untalented people that make it in Hollywood.
Oh, yeah, dude. Amy Schumer, for sure.
Oh, she's killed like 8 people. For sure. Oh, this video is gonna get canceled.
No, that's all right. That's all right. No, for sure. I'm actually very vocal of the fact that I think she's not very funny. Her Chelsea Handler, not funny at all. These people are awful.
Her show is interesting. The one on Netflix where she was traveling around. I like that, but she's not.
Okay, so we can't be friends anymore. So that's a thing. Yeah, but
peyote, like the therapeutic peyote, that was pretty funny.
Oh, ayahuasca.
Yeah. But she's not funny though.
No, not at all. Oh my god, there's tons of them. Fucking.
Do you think Kevin Hart's funny?
Some of his stuff is pretty funny, but not amazing. I don't think he should be as big as he is.
What about that one guy that slept with Ariana Grande? Pete Davidson? Do you think that guy's funny?
Butthole Eyes? No, I don't think he's very funny.
What'd you say? What'd you call him?
Butthole Eyes. Look at him. Look at a picture of him. He straight up has butthole eyes. This has been a common thing. I don't know where you've been for the last year.
I've been feeling bad for that dude. I heard his new movie was pretty good though. King of Staten Island.
Oh, Going back, 5 minutes or whatever it was, I only watch things I know that I'm going to enjoy. So that one's out of the out of the option for me for my new stuff I'm going to watch here.
Oh man, we're slinging. You see what Trump and the Obama accusation does to it? It sends us on a tangent all the time, man. But I sincerely,
it's absurd. It's absurd. Like, how do you blame some shit that happened that long ago? And like, dude, I'm trying to understand. Like, I hate to judge people without trying to understand where they're coming from, right? When T. Martin made the apology video for CS:GO Lotto, right? I understood where he came from, right? Like when who else? When Censor broke up with Yannette Garcia to pursue his career in the COD League, which he's not even a part of anymore. I understood his decision, right? Like,
is that the one news really weather lady?
Yeah, I don't understand that decision whatsoever. That was fucking stupid. Like I try to put myself in the place where I understand what is happening, right?
Right.
But fuck, man, I can't imagine doing something or not doing something is really what the issue was, is right. He didn't do anything. And then trying to blame your lack of, I don't know, intelligence on someone that was in your same position 4 years ago. I can't, dude.
No, I mean, I get it. Here's the interesting thing. There's a type of lunacy that goes along with this. So we've already acknowledged that was idiotic, right? But what we have yet to acknowledge in this conversation is that he completely misspoke. Like, that was an accident. You understand? He was probably trying to draw some comparison of like the SARS incident. Was that during Obama's administration? There was something that happened, Ebola, and his lack of response. But here's the problem.
There was no lack of response. We knew exactly what was happening. We had 15 cases in the U.S.
Yeah, and it got squashed pretty handily. And also, then he had some stuff worked up. We go through this ad nauseum, and he brought it before Senate or Congress, one of the two, and they were like, "No, sorry, you Obama," and they shot it down. Now, I don't agree with everything Obama did, and I don't have him on the pedestal. And if you have him on the pedestal, that's your right. I just choose not to worship.
Yeah, I don't.
I don't worship men like that. But the fact of the matter is, if you're going to come after someone publicly and politically, you should definitely have your facts in order, right? We should expect at least that from our partisan politics, right?
But the president, and I've said this a number of times, the one thing I want out of a president is being a good statesman. That is all that I want, and you are so bad at it. Not you. I don't mean you specifically. So I think you'd be okay.
I'm horrible at being a president. I seriously, how many times if you were my advisor, I'd lose my shit in that little office. I'm like, so let me see if I got this straight. I told you not to do it.
Well, you'd be smoking a cigar while doing it.
Like while I'm strangling someone in the wall. Die, Johnson, die. No, you want a statesman, right?
That's all you want, dude. You want a statesman, because we all know that, yes, a president can come up with policy and he could use executive order and a number of things, but realistically, most of that happens inside of Congress, in the House, right? Most of that happens there. We need someone who's going to represent the U.S. That is it. That's what we need, especially on a global stage. And we've become the laughing stock of the world, essentially, because of how bad he makes us look constantly.
No, it's true, man. All I want from a president, it's not all I want. I expect that there should be some ethic of honor there, right? Looking after, even if you're dealing with the two-party system, looking for a way to navigate and best represent America, best pursue its people's interests while providing the best thing, the best for the country. You're not going to see that in this administration. So I'm going to move on. I'm going to stop talking about it, dude, because I have other battles to fight, right? November's coming up. I really do think we should do this is going to be the best presidential debates ever, right? These are the ones.
But so are you telling me that I'm going to have to watch them?
Yes. You're going to have to watch them, dude.
So we're not even going to get debates, are we?
Yeah, we're going to get 3.
We're actually going to get debates. Obviously, are they going to be teleconference, or are they going to be in person?
Oh, you mean is there actually gonna be a stage? I don't know. I guess they would be teleconference, depending on depending on where we're at.
So
but Biden has.
I'm gonna make a prediction here.
3.
I'm gonna make a prediction here. At least one of these 3, Trump is gonna say something that's so messed up, and he's gonna blame the fact that it was on the internet, and that how easily it will be to alter what he is saying on the internet, and he actually didn't say that thing. I guarantee that happens.
It's all the mail-in
That's a
ballots,
safe bet.
man.
That's a
It's all
safe
the-
bet.
it's all
Did you
the
hear
mail-in
what he said?
ballots.
He goes, mail-in ballots are bad, but absentee ballots are okay. You didn't hear him say this?
No.
And then the one news report that I saw was Trump says mail-in ballots are some fucking stupid word, and then but absentee ballots are just fine because that's what he does. And then it was afterwards, they're the same thing. And I'm like, ooh, got him there. Because he's definitely gonna read that. I feel like he's the kind of person who Googles himself every morning. You know that, right?
Probably his press secretary should do all his talking from now on. Like if you're gonna have some he can't help himself either. You know what? I just noticed you typed something in here, man, and this is like breaking news. UFC 251 did 1.3 million pay-per-views.
That's the reported number. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, that is the reported number that that has happened. UFC 251 did 1.3 million buys, and unfortunately, I don't think it was Usman versus Masvidal that sold all those.
It was definitely the three championship fight, but I would say Usman. I won't say
Masvidal
Usman
helped. Masvidal helped.
Masvidal carried that thing like you carried me through a COD match.
No, I did. I'm telling you, Volkanovski versus Holloway was a huge fight.
Oh, you know what? It's
Aldo versus
that was huge, but
yeah,
those weren't huge for the casual fan, and the casual fans bring in
Holloway is, I think, though, isn't he?
No. Holloway is he is the people's champion, but he's our champion, the MMA community, right? He's a champion of his island. I don't know if he's yet a crossover star to the point where people, the casual fan, will recognize him. But I do know that people recognize Masvidal
for sure.
But I will say the main event on that card was obviously the real main event was Holloway versus Volkanovski.
Absolutely, Volkanovski's still champ, my boy. Bringing it back home to fucking Australia or New Zealand, wherever the hell he's from.
What?
he lives in Australia, fights out of New Zealand.
I don't even have to argue with you about this. You need to take it up with Chael Sonnen, man. Like everyone and their mother, including Henry Cejudo, the strangest man in America, quite possibly the earth, scored it the same way, man. Even Dana White.
No.
In front of the press conference, and in the most awkward moment that will probably go down in UFC history, even the press, when Dana White does that thing where he's like, I'm going to make everyone else accountable. He's like, did anyone else give Volkanovski that fight? And one person raised their hand, apparently. Now, I know.
He's like, fire! He's like, sorry, I work for Yahoo Sports. And he's like, you're still alive? Get out of here.
You know, there's this one guy, this old journalist. If you ever watch the fights, he's the bald guy. Usually you see him in the camera and you probably ask yourself, what's that guy doing here? But he is an MMA journalist, one of the first ones. And he's on Yahoo. And he writes great columns.
I'm telling you, man, Yahoo's a way bigger website than people make it out to be.
He's actually the guy that got Ariel Helwani back into the pressers after Dana kicked him out.
Really?
It was. Yeah, well, I won't say he didn't get him in, but he led the Spearhead campaign where he's like, we're not going to let Dana get away with this. No one bans the press for these events. Yeah, he's old.
I'd ban fucking honorary. Get him out of here.
Yeah, but 1.3 million buys. What's the record? It's 1.5, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not sure. Is it? It
was bigger than
No,
I heard it was bigger than Khabib versus Conor.
I can imagine that for sure. No, Khabib versus Conor, UFC 229 was 2.4 million buys.
Woo!
Yeah, not even close. 251 is at 1.3. That is Alvarez versus McGregor, bigger than Aldo versus McGregor, bigger than Lesnar versus Shane Carwin, bigger than Rousey versus Holly Holm. So,
oh man, those were all epic cards.
Very good.
The Lesnar one was, I honestly, before my time with MMA, I was definitely not watching the way I am now. But I think from top to bottom, it was a great card. UFC 251. I enjoyed it. Obviously, the main event wasn't what we were hoping for, and I didn't get my expectations.
I thought it was going to be.
Exactly. I knew it was going to be a grappling affair, and I'm not an Usman. I'm not mad at Usman for doing that.
Nope.
I am. I'm going to say for the optics, though, like I said to you when we were texting, this is it, right? So these type of fights, even though he dominated, this was the biggest knockout on him early, was that he's a dominant fighter, but he's dominant in a style that traditionally doesn't bring in the eyes. Now, the only reason it worked for George St. Pierre, as you know, was it was later in his career. And now at this point, it was about how long George can hold the belt versus how he was winning, right?
Sure.
His last really exciting fight, in hindsight, I was talking to Santana, speaking of George St. Pierre, and this is probably going to be the same thing for John Jones, and it's more than likely going to be the same thing for Usman, was against such a dominant fighter, such a dangerous person coming in, and the fact that he made it out, and I actually kind of feel like that was the fight with Reyes for Jones. There were points in that fight where I was just like, man, Reyes is the superior athlete. It was obvious, right?
Yeah, I think Dominic Reyes might literally be the superior athlete, but he's clearly not the better fighter.
He's not the better fighter, but Usman, I think, I mean, I could be wrong, bro, but I don't see anyone beating him. Burns will be that question mark because Burns has a great style for him. He's got great takedown defense. He's a third-degree black belt in jiu-jitsu. He's got great takedowns of his own. He's got power. Striking's not probably on the same level as Usman, but he's a little bit more explosive than Usman, and we haven't seen Usman's gas tank push in the way that Burns will push it. The fight with Colby, whatever that idiot's name is,
Covington,
obviously, that was a great fight, and we got to see that he did have a tank, but it's a different pace when someone's coming at you and you're being pushed back, and instead of being the hammer, you're the nail.
Sure.
But props to Usman, right?
Dude, he went out there and won, man.
Yeah.
He went out there and won. Like,
absolutely.
I just I don't know, man. I actually don't mind when a champion goes out there and does what he needs to win. Right? I don't mind at all. And it seems to be a lot of people have issues with that. But I mean it's the same thing with when Stylebender fought Yoel. It was super boring fight. But he wasn't going to risk getting counter hit and, fucking turned to dust right there. He went out there and did what he needed to win. And no one's mad at Stylebender for doing that, but everyone hates Usman for doing it against Masvidal, which I don't understand.
Well, because Masvidal was like it's kind of a rocky story, right? Brawler late in his career. Actually, that shows you people haven't been following him long enough. He's never was a brawler. He's always been a technical striker. His striking has always been beautiful.
He's very crisp, man. His striking is very good.
Even when he was fighting in the backyards, it was clear that he had talent, right? It was clear that he was a step above the guy he was fighting. But people adore his story, man. That comeback story was great. I was actually watching his rise back up, and I didn't give him enough credit because he also starched Donald Cowboy Cerrone, right? That was completely starched him. Then his next fight was against your boy Ben, starched that guy. So it wasn't like he was coming off, beat Darren Till.
No, so you're way out of timeline here. No, so it was Cowboy. Then he lost to Damian Maia. Then he lost to Stephen Thompson.
Yes.
Then he beat Till. And then he went on his superstar streak, was what I'm going to call it. Yeah. Knocked out Askren in 5 seconds. A technical TKO in the third round, I guess, against Nate Diaz, and then loses to Usman. Yeah. The issue is that his rise to stardom literally is Askren because he knocked him out really quick. Yeah. Nate Diaz because Nate Diaz bleeds. And then lost to Usman. I like George. Don't get me wrong. I like Masvidal. I actually like watching him fight because I like watching his striking. We're actually going to get to another striking match here in a second. I like watching his striking because it is very, very good. I don't know if he's the best technical boxer in the UFC. I think Holloway is still better. I think Max Holloway has cleaner striking, and I also Wonderboy has cleaner striking than Masvidal. But he is very, very good. He's very slick for sure.
In regards to slick boxing, like if we're just talking about like boxing and MMA, so right now I would say some of the best hands that we have would be Max wouldn't be your cleanest boxer. You definitely got Ayala Quinta has some great boxing. Masvidal has some great boxing, and then there's this I forget the other guy's name, man. This dude's got some. Dustin Poirier.
In my opinion, that's who I was thinking too.
Dustin Poirier he's probably number 3 when it comes to like the boxing. But
Poirier is very good. Yeah.
Man, those short hooks he was throwing in there against what's this guy's name? Your boy from New Zealand. What's that guy's name? You love him.
Hooker?
Why?
Dan Hooker.
Yeah, I wanted to call him Tucker Carlson. What Stylebender is an interesting character, and so is Wonder Boy. I'm calling it now, man. I know you don't believe me, but we're gonna see those two fight. Because Wonder Boy has nothing left, and like if he takes his chance fighting Usman and has the same result that he had against Tyron, but this time even more dominant because Usman is a better wrestler, that's it for Wonder Boy. But he takes his chance, it goes up to middleweight.
Here's the thing, though: Usman gets hit, doesn't he? I feel like Usman gets hit, and I think Wonder Boy might have quick enough striking to keep him on his feet.
That's what everyone thought about Tyron too. And if something happens to one, that's some Usman's not going to take a chance, and his head movement is just good enough where he can shoot that double leg. Now, unless Wonder Boy pivots and switches back to like a knee, which is very possible when he's coming in for that double leg, which is actually what Aldo did a couple of times against Jan, and I thought he was going to KO him a couple of times. Like that knee came out of nowhere. But I think it would be a better move for Wonder Boy to go up to middleweight now, especially since we know Chris Weidman is he's not the champion. He's not. Yeah, I if you and I were in the same fighting camp and I was your Cain Velasquez, I wouldn't be mad at you. You're like, come on, Steve. Come on. It's over for you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. But I'm glad the numbers are doing good. They're still riding the coattails of being the only thing on televisions. I think that definitely helped. The 3 champion fights. We got a fight coming up on Wednesday.
Yeah, we'll talk. We're gonna talk about that. What I really want to talk about, yes, and all of the entire main card was incredible, right? Don't get me wrong. The entire main card was incredible, other than Paige Van Zandt being completely non-competitive in her fight. Rose Namajunas has
amazing.
She's
amazing.
She's so much fun to watch.
Amazing.
She is literally out there like deliberately doing exactly what she wants when she wants to do it. Her striking is incredible.
Yep.
It is absolutely incredible. And it is so much fun to watch because you're just sitting there in awe of her striking. It is absolutely insane.
And the judges almost robbed her too. They gave that fight a split decision where she clearly, up until the end of
she dominated the first 2 rounds for sure.
And it was just unbelievable.
I thought
man. I'm sorry. Her shuffle. You ever notice that shuffle she does? Shuffle foot into the cross. Yeah. Amazing. The pop jab is amazing.
Her footwork is stupid.
Oh, dude, she's not like throwing out some pawing jab. Like it's a quick pop and then right back into the chamber. I think Rose and what? How do you pronounce the name?
Zhang Weili.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a great fight, and it's going to be a great, respectful fight too. So this isn't going to be a lot of build-up.
Do you think that fight's next? Do you think that's what's next for Rose?
Yeah, I think that's what's next.
How do we think that goes? Because I think Rose gets hit for sure.
Yeah,
Rose gets hit way too much, and Weili hits really fucking hard.
Yeah,
she hits really hard.
She hits
now. Rose schooled Joanna twice, right?
Yes.
Do we think that her technique is going to outperform Weili's power? Because Weili is very technical as well.
Yeah, I think that's an appropriate question. I think the appropriate response is we'll see. But if I'm a betting man, I do believe that Rose is going to have the type of movement that's going to give Weili like some real, I don't want to say problems, right? Because she is extremely an intelligent fighter. There's something about her, I think her traditional martial arts background, which may not be utilized in the octagon physically, but gives her an understanding of the way people fight. So it's these X factors that people can't really quantify. Rose's movement versus her intelligence, and we're going to see how that plays out.
Man.
I do think that the margin of damage is going to be very low for Rose in this fight. Like they're definitely going to be working on her head movement a lot and her evasion because she can't take too many of those strikes.
Yeah, but man, so I must misremember this fight, the Joanna versus Weili, because it was an incredible fight. Don't get me wrong, but it was a split. Decision. It was a split decision, and I guess I didn't remember that. Yeah. I mean, if that's a split decision and Rose schooled Joanna twice. The MMA math there says that she beats Weili. Not easy, but she beats her.
You can't trust it. Can't trust that MMA math. But I'll tell you who benefits from this. Us, because that's going to be an amazing fight, dude.
Yeah, it's going to be incredible. Absolutely incredible, for sure.
I just want to talk about Paige VanZant really quickly and what went wrong there. And what happened with Paige is that she grappled with someone that got a really slick takedown on it, reversed what she was trying to do. I think, if I remember correctly, Paige was trying to do a hip toss of her own, and it got reversed. But
yeah.
So it's everything we talked about prior to the fight. Paige's, the skill gap between her and other fighters is extremely noticeable sometimes. Other times it's not as noticeable, and she powers her way through. I definitely think that at this point, she will not be remaining with the organization. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, when Dana White goes, yeah, maybe you should go into free agency. That usually means they're not going to re-sign you.
Yeah,
and he definitely said that.
Yeah, definitely. If Dana White's saying that type of stuff to you,
yeah, you're like pretty much not in the organization anymore, right?
Yeah, that's it.
That's pretty much writing on the wall.
Mathis, sit down. Stop it. They can't keep their hands off each other, dude. It's like they just fuck each other up all day long. But you lose your bargaining chip, right? You make a big deal about how you can make more money.
Yeah, sitting home, taking pictures of yourself.
Exactly.
And then, you come in and you're non-competitive against Amanda Ribas. And it's, I don't know. Only person to beat Mackenzie Dern, right?
Yeah.
And then comes in and schools Paige. Like,
yep.
Amanda Ribas is exciting to watch. She's a little crazy.
A little nutty.
She's a little crazy.
Burn your house down if you don't call it back crazy. I'm sensing that.
I would hate to agree. But I don't, she has a good shot at the title, I think, at 15. I don't think she has a good shot at Shevchenko, but
no.
She definitely had.
What weight class was that at? See, that's how little I was. Was that that was 125?
I think, yeah. Yeah, because Paige VanZant weighed in at 26.
Yeah,
but Ribas she fights at 15.
Dude, listen, man. Anything right now for that weight division, I'm not betting against the current champion.
No.
No. Like this.
Why would you?
Not even Mackenzie Dern. Oh, Mackenzie Dern's at 135 though, right?
Yeah, I fucking sure hope so. Cause she could barely make weight.
She looked good in her last fight, though. She looked good in her last fight.
Is it the fight that she lost?
No, she won the last fight. You psychopath. Mackenzie Dern dominated her last fight.
I don't remember when she fought. Oh yeah, she did right here against a girl who's 10-6.
But what's Mackenzie Dern's record?
8-1.
Okay.
She's lost. I literally had just said the only person to beat Mackenzie Dern.
Listen to you, psychopath. Who do we got fighting on Wednesday, man? Give it.
I had that pulled up earlier. It's nothing great. It's nothing great. Let's see. Main event: Calvin Kattar versus Dan I always like watching Calvin Kattar fight. The guy has very good boxing as well.
Dan I's good.
Tim Elliott versus Ryan Beno. I don't know who that is. Jimmy Rivera versus Coney Stammen. Jimmy Rivera is always fun to watch. Molly McCann, Tyler Santos, and then we get into names that I cannot pronounce, at least on air. Not great is where we're at. Main event is fun. The main event is fun. Yeah, that's. I'm just excited to have fights. I don't care.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be absolutely great. You know what else is gonna be great? And this is like, I know this is the last subject, and it's not something you particularly care about. Oh, it's not the last subject, but T-Wood got schooled tonight.
So you're bringing this back up, and I don't even know what you're talking about. What is this Titan Games thing? Is this the Rock game show or something?
Yeah, the Rock game show. He's in a suit and everything. No, yeah, it's the Rock show.
The Rock is the last person that I can imagine just walks into a place and is like, I want a suit. He's like, no, I want just a vest And if that vest could be mesh, it'd be preferable. That's what the kind of person The Rock seems to me. Dude, that guy has to be so hard. Who does his tailoring? Because holy shit, that guy's dimensions are A, ever changing, and B, fucking seemingly impossible to make clothes for.
You know, he's one of those wrestlers where no one's going to walk up and say, hey, everything you do is fake. Because, you know, even if he can't throw a punch right, if he connects, that's it.
Yeah.
Right?
If he connects, you're flying 13 feet in the air.
But actually, the Titan Games is it's kind of like the Spartan races, but on television and actually interesting to watch. And not that I have anything against Spartan races, it's just like that stuff is grueling. But, you know, he's designed these competitions to really be a full body endurance type of scenario.
Sure.
So being, say, for instance, world-class boxing champion, former NFL Super Bowl champion, maybe even an Olympic gold medalist in snowboarding, or even possibly a former NFL linebacker. These are people that you would think when you hear these titles, or a UFC champion, former champion, you're like, oh man, these people are in the pinnacle of shape.
So what I hear from that is the NFL players probably did the best.
No, NFL players got smoked.
Really?
Former Olympus got smoked. Tyron Woodley got smoked because the athletes they're going up against, these are people where at this type of athletic, they excel at. We're talking about one woman was a firefighter. You know, she's used to type of endurance running, hauling things up mountains, and she does full body workouts. Man, Victor Ortiz got smoked, dude. He got smoked by an injured firefighter, a guy who had major surgeries on his leg, came in, dominated.
So what kind of pro athlete do you think would excel at this? Do we think it would be
CrossFit?
You're not an athlete if you do CrossFit. You're a fucking poser. Yeah.
No, not CrossFit. What are the Spartan Games? People who do that type of stuff.
But I'm talking about like a professional athlete. Let's think about it for a second. These guys are like, I know people who have done Spartan. My guess is rock climbers. Because
rock climbers do good.
That's what my imagine would be. Rock climbers would be really good at this. I've never seen the show. I've barely even heard of it. I feel like rock climbers would be really good. Because have you ever seen rock climbers go into like a gym? You know how they do their warm-ups for their hands? And that they fucking take dumbbells and they have like another weight glued to the top of it. And then they just add weight to the bottom and just pick it up. That's how they warm up their hands. They have like these incredible grip strengths. That's actually absurd. And these guys climb, you know, distances that I wouldn't even want to run in like a straight line. They climb it up and then back down, right? Like these guys are like incredible athletes.
Yeah, no, see, here's the thing, right? So they had one woman from American Ninja. Have you ever watched that show before? American Ninja
Warrior?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you look at the type of stuff they do, you very similar. Dude, it's like everything he's designed for this, like you got to be able to lift insane amounts of weight while carrying it up a vertical. You know,
interesting. Yeah, like, I see. I don't know what kind of athlete would be good at this.
Yeah, Tyron Woodley was he wasn't the athlete, and he looked very much like he did in his last fight too. Like he
just schooled, huh?
He broke, man, and but I just watch it. You get it'll be on YouTube tomorrow, and it was pretty bad. Too. But hey, respect to Tyron Woodley for doing it though, right?
Yeah,
that guy got out there, you know. How
much trash did he talk before he went on?
Just a little bit of trash.
Was it like, ooh, if this goes bad, you're gonna look like an idiot?
It was that type of trash. Like, but it wasn't like crazy. He wasn't like talking super breezy. He was just like, you know, just a little poking at the guy because the guy he went up against was a school teacher from down south. This guy smoked him. Absolutely smoked him.
He walks in. He's like, I'm Tyron Woodley. I was a former UFC champion. The guy's like, yeah, I teach math. And he's like, dude, you're about to get shut down. And as we're at the starting line, he goes, oh, and I do triathlons every weekend. Tyron was like, son of a bitch.
It was pretty bad, man. It was pretty bad. And then lastly, because it's hard to talk about it, I want you to go watch it. I'll send you the YouTube video, and I guarantee when we talk about it on Friday or you remember it, you're gonna be like, yeah, that was pretty bad, dude. Because every professional athlete got shut out. But I just wanted to close and say this. You need to get back on The Boys. All right. I need you to finish that. Finish the first season of The Boys. You have like 2 episodes to go.
I have 1 episode to go. What was it on? Amazon?
Amazon. It's free. You have your Prime member. The next season looks amazing, and I can't wait to see. Even though they did a little bit of gender bending for characters, which I'm not usually cool with, But this time, it looks like it's actually going to be an interesting plot development, and it looks amazing, dude. Looks absolutely amazing.
All right, I'll get back on the boys. It doesn't seem interesting anymore.
It's very interesting. Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
You sitting over there right now. You look very peaceful and calm. Can you hear my kids over this mic?
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's absolute anarchy.
Yeah, the entire time. I'm gonna have to do a lot of post-processing work on this to try to dampen that as much as possible.
Yeah. You know, folks, I love you all, but if this is the last time you see me, I want you to remember I never liked Zach, and this was all a ploy by the government to stop SARS from happening and COVID from taking over the world. No?
All right, everybody, make sure to check us out on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, our website. What else? Anchor podcast that Steve left the Podbean link in the last episode. All at Talking with a Dad. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, and have a fantastic Tuesday.